Oh man. Got me Chewbacca. It's a weird way to start the stream, but I'm sure everyone on this thing understands. We're just talking about what's that guy's name from? But it's not Chewie.
No, Yoda.
Oh yeah, Yoda. And then I always think of like Jabba the Hutt's little friend, that little guy that looks like he's like, yeah, the Jim Henson character. Who knows what that?
A little rat beak, yeah.
Yeah, the little rat guy. Welcome. We're halfway there. This is it. This is the last day of Eighth Notes. So really, the whole first half I feel like is. I don't know if I should say it's a warm up, but starting Thursday is when things, I guess, kind of get real, because once we're in 16th note land, things progress really fast. And as you can see on the schedule over here, they go in increments of 5 beats per minute from now on, and I hope you can figure out the math as to why we do that, because that's part of being a drummer. So yeah. What up, E? We're streaming now, buddy. Let me share the screen for you. E is here. There you go. Are you doing Tradish today? Oh, Emmett, I wanted to you always go like French noir. Hey, Emmett, I wanted to tell you I uploaded that jazz lesson video to your drive, so it's up there for you for later. Yeah. So yeah, we're halfway there. So next week we're back down to 80 beats per minute at 16th notes, and we'll be working our way up. Thankfully for the next, let's see, today. Oh no, today's on time. Thursday's at noon 30, and so those who work during the day, you can stream it later. Which reminds me, sorry about for Thursday. Or for Saturday, in Restream, I forgot to stream to Facebook and Twitch, and I think YouTube too, so there's no stream for 140, so you'll just have to, like, I don't know, do that one on your own, I guess, so if you need to catch up. But yeah, the other thing is that when we get into 16th notes, the exercises last a little bit longer, so we're just going to kind of get right to the point. All right, this is exciting. So today we're at 150. That's it, really. There was one thing I wanted to say about technique real quick, and that is, so I've been having, if you guys have been watching and following along, like I've been kind of struggling with my left hand, because on kit, I realized, I was like trying to figure it out, and I realized like a lot of times, at least gigs I'm doing now, if I'm playing tradish, it's like I'm playing pretty quiet, and I have been in the habit of doing a lot of stuff just inside my hand here. And so when we're working on this rotation, this rotation has been out of shape. So I've been kind of like trying to look at my left hand, and then last year I'd been following Grayson, Nick Krutman, I believe is his last name, Grayson. He's a drummer. If you haven't checked him out, it's worth everybody's time to check this drummer out, even if you're not a drummer. If you're a fan of music, check him out, because I want to say he's 18 or 19, maybe 17. When I started watching him, he was in high school, because he was doing high school band events. I think he's still in high school, but watching videos, especially with YouTube and stuff, watching videos of Buddy Rich and Art Blakey and Tony Williams and guys like that, mostly, honestly, for different reasons, like Tony Williams is a different kind of brilliant than Buddy Rich. But what I noticed, and I feel like a lot of people have sort of tried to pick up the Tony Williams torch, and there's lots of new drummers out there that you can resource to kind of tap into what Tony Williams did. But what I noticed about Buddy Rich is there's not a lot of drummers out there that can really do the Buddy Rich thing, and there's just certain things in his left hand and the way he did singles that was so, it wasn't secretive, but it just wasn't, I don't know, maybe he just got further than everyone else, but I just really felt like, man, no one's ever going to play like that again. Not that it's the best way anyone's ever played ever, and that he's my favorite drummer, because that would be hard to choose, but just for the sheer fact that when you watch him, the things he does, you're like, dude, I don't know if anybody's ever going to be able to do that again. And so, but this kid, what I'm trying to get to is that Grayson, this new kid, he's kind of doing it. I mean, he's the only drummer on earth that I've seen that kind of gives me that same feeling that Buddy Rich, that you get watching Buddy Rich. And a lot of it is in his left hand, because he switches between these techniques where he'll have these legato strokes going, and then if he goes to shred, he'll be like, yeah! And just watch some Buddy Rich videos and then watch some Grayson videos and you'll see. And the point being is that he put a video out recently about his left hand, and it was a good reminder because, you know, this is one way to do the left hand where we work on the rotation, and one important aspect to that is that the stick is going, you know, straight up and down. Does it have to? No, because we might want to come in for one of those, or one of those, or one of these, or one of these, or one of these. But if we're practicing technique and we're practicing for efficiency, control, you know, you might say, oh, I'm just going to hit the middle of the drum and I'm going to have it do a very efficient motion straight up and down. And so making that motion happen with this is, I guess, one scope or scale of traditional technique. But then, me and Chris were talking about this. I don't want to, I just want to make sure that out there everybody is kind of hip to the fact that, like, this isn't it, you know? I mean, there's so much that happens in here, inside your hand. So if you just set your hand here, you even without rotating, your hand can play things without even moving. A lot can happen just in that hand, from the thumb, index finger, middle finger. So all that to say is what we're doing here, you know, if there's lots of different ways to use these grids, and the way that we're using it this time through for this slab is for this rotation. At least that's what I'm using it for. You may not be, and that's totally fine. But yeah, really, in the end, as long as you're being thoughtful, there's no real rules. I mean, you can go, oh, I'm going to learn the Muller, and I'm going to learn this and that, but really it's like, just fight for what you want to play and have your hand do it. You know, it's like figure out different ways to do it. There's push and pull. I use this push and pull, which is like opening your hand and then closing it. For like a shuffle. So it's like open fingers. I really doubt that's how everyone does that. I mean, I think Don Worth is probably using more rotation, and he's got a good shuffle. In fact, I mean, that's who I go to learn how to play shuffles. And but you know, when I'm playing at gigs and I don't have time to think about the technique, it's just get there however you can, and that's where I ended up. So anyway, all that to say is anything we say here is not a rule. It's just you know, try this. Okay, check it out. We're gonna do 8 on a hand. We'll start at 60 because that's the hardest for me. here we go. Left hand looks good, Emmett. You're a natural, dude. Thing that's hard for me at these tempos is to trust it to bounce back, because it takes a lot of stabilizer to hold. Again. 1, 2, here we go. Here we go. Really stretching it out. Try to get everything out of this 60 beats per minute you can. Okay, 70. 1, 2, here we go. Here we go. Also encourage you to practice with a mirror so you can see what your hands are doing. It really helps to look at see those stick heights in action. 1, 2, here we go. Looks good, Chris. Yeah, way to fight for it, buddy. Nice. One, 2, 80, go. Cool. Me and Chris were talking about it. Chris takes lessons with Brian Gardner, and local drummer. He plays in Federale, and he also does things like subs for the opera. So he plays classical, plays jazz. So he's an all-around great percussionist and drummer. And just how the style can be so different in lessons with someone like Brian, depending on what what they're doing, but than this, and just how doing stuff like this is a lot more like you're training for the Olympics, or it's like a sport, because it's musical, but it's not musical like you're like when you're doing stuff like that, or if you're going for musicality, you're not thinking in terms of speed, and we are thinking in terms of speed, so we're going for speed. So this is really, look at this like like not calisthenics, cross training. Yeah, this is more like cross training. So if you can kind of separate them in your mind, yeah, this is definitely more of an athletic deal. So here we go, 90. 1, 2, here we go. I think Federale, I know they played a show, but if you haven't seen them play, check them out. They're really great. One, two, here we go. Yeah, Brian's the kind of guy that if I was growing up right now, I'd probably, if I found him, I would probably follow him and try to go a bunch of different events that he plays drums at, because you can see him in Federale play drum set. You can go see him play, classical music or like a chamber deal. He does all sorts of stuff. So if you're a drummer and you're learning, go watch him play in a few different kinds of scenarios, so you can get kind of a grasp of what that's like. 100. 1, 2. Here we go. My left hand just feels right at home at these tempos. God, 60 and 70. Hard one. Good, 110, checking on your posture. 1, 2, here we go. Don't do it, Buddy Rich. Or do it. Don't do it, Buddy Rich. Let it fly back. Imagine a pink, one of those paddle boards with the rubber ball that you do that. Bum, bum, bum. That's what it should feel like. You should get that same feeling of when that ball hits the paddle. It should feel like that when you hit the drum and it throws your arm back. 1, 2, 120, go. Pinky's out. What am I doing? Looking good, you guys. Can you get any more height, E? Yeah, it's hard. Nice. Okay, 130. 1, 2, here we go. One, 2, 130, again, go. One 40. 1, 2, 1, 2, there we go. is where I really feel my fingers starting to come into the stroke. Like, tick, 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 tick. You're kind of using them as a, you can, I mean, you can wrist this too, but this is one of those transition tempos. 1, 2, 140, again, go. One, two, 1, 2. One, two, here we go. If you don't know what to do with your hands and you're trying to find it, go back to just trying to wrist it or rotate. Stay there as long as you can, and your hand might figure out what to do next. 1, 2, a 160, here we go. Smaller strokes, closer to the drum. A 1, 2, here we go. If you're having a hard time, do little ones. Nice and easy. If this is easy for you, do huge ones. A 1, 2, here we go. Or try French. 2, here we go. Okay, lots of ways to do that. 170. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Stay nice and relaxed. They're not fast, they're just a little brisk. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Another way to look at it is like a rotating thing. Change your thought process and have them to be just like Jim Chapin. You see that bigger motion when he plays. If you can get your mind there before your hands get there, your hands will catch up. 180. Here we go. A 1, 2, here we go. Two, a 1, 2, here we go. Another thing to do is if you're having a hard time right now, stick them out. Just sweat them out. Just fail. Failing is good. 2, 1, 2, here we go. 2, a 190 again, go. Nice and easy. 200. A 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. If you're having a hard time, throw the stick into the drum. Try this little molar. It'll throw energy. It's like a feather. And the up motion will give you a little bit more juice at the end. 200, go. Good job, everyone. Those are hard. All right. Okay, what's next? All right. Axe grid. 150. Last day of 8th notes. You guys ready over there? I just got the crying emoji. Did you see that, Chris? E, you're gonna be fine, dude. You're good, man. Just, it's like doing sprints in practice. Just run out of breath and just keep going. You got to pass out and throw up before you're going to be able to play these, bud. If you guys aren't passing out there, I want everybody to puke by the end of this practice. That's not true, but we and Chris were talking about it. 2 ways to do things, like Brian Gardner type lesson if you're learning how to play a nice roll, or if you're doing you're learning how to play fundamentals or anything like that, or just read, or if you're taking lessons with Joel Bluestone, or if you're learning how to play classical percussion or snare drum, a lot of times we're not playing to failure. We're not sweating, and so a lot of times the recommendation, and you'll even see this on YouTube, a lot of teachers are like, don't play. If you're not relaxed, don't play. Quit when you're not relaxed, and don't do it. You don't want real pain, but there's a difference between real pain, where it's like, oh my gosh, that I injured something, and I'm starting to lose it in my hand. That's not pain. That is tiring out. And so differentiate tiring out from pain. Basically, if you want to be Rudy, or if you've ever seen Hoosiers or any of those movies where, the underdog overcomes, then do it until you get real pain that actually scares you. Go for it. If you're going for speed and you want to do that, Whiplash, that scene in Whiplash where his hands are bleeding, that doesn't happen. That is not how it works. You're not going to and then your hands are going to bleed everywhere. But your body's not going to know to advance unless you push it beyond a certain line. You can play to this line. If you don't go past that line, your body doesn't know it needs to go past it. So just work hard. It's all good. You can. Don't hurt yourself. Or do. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's my generation, but hurt yourself. Do you want to play drums or not? Come on. Not quite my tempo. All right, here we go. All right, let's do this. Those feel like 16th notes to me. I know they're 8th notes on the page, but those are starting to feel like 16ths. I like that. Here we go. 1, 2. Here we go. Ready, go. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Cool. 1, 2, 1, 2, 33. Okay, cool. Well, these are moving right along. 45. 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Don't lose the momentum like I did. Good. Keep that flow going. Don't lose any momentum. 61. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, it's getting good. Gosh, this has been a slow burn, and it's starting to rock. 77. 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Cool. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Two, 1, 2. Here we go. Ooh, cross the bar line. Just what you would hear at a college football game in a cadence. Such a college cadence right there. Yeah, man, let's celebrate that. Doesn't that sound like a football game? Okay, 113. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Oh, whoops. Forgot to read my own music. Okay, here we go. 113. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Prince. Dang, these are good. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. We're gonna do this whole page again. Because the phrasing of this, let's do one more stab at it. I'm gonna try to make it smooth. But yeah, try to keep that flow going. 129, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Oh, 129, 2, here we go. So easy to rush that. See, those ones, that's what makes Steve Gadd so great, because you always feel that, you can trust that space. And if you err on the side of being a little bit late, that's better than rushing it. So that's our reminder to do that. 145. 2, a 1, 2, here we go. Exaggerate that stroke if you can. 1, 2, 161, 2. Here we go. Oops. Okay. 177, 2, a 1, 2. Here we go. Cool. 193. Oh, home stretch. A 1, 2, a 1, 2. Here we go. So easy to rush that. A 1, 2, here we go. Cool. One thing you'll notice that's different between your average drummer and somebody like Scott McPherson, who was a Portland drummer who played with like Beck and tons of great people, Elliott Smith. Maybe somebody who doesn't play gigs like that can chop out. But the one thing that Scott McPherson does better than most people is plays single stroke rolls like that. Not like that. Not that bad. See, getting into that, not that great. So go watch Scott on like, I don't know, on Letterman with M. Ward or something and watch his single strokes around the kit, and then you'll get an idea how to play those. Okay. Tears of Joy. I love it, Emmett. Yep, I feel you, brother. Me too. Okay, 8th notes. Completed. Nice job. 8th notes. This is supposed to say completed. Moving on. Let's do dids. We got like 15 minutes here. Okay. Yeah, 150. How you guys doing? You guys sweating? Good? Okay, all right. Thumbs up. Yeah. All right. Clean doubles. Reminder, don't buzz these. Don't go like this. if you're fighting for it, if you're doing that, you've given up already. Look, if your hands are dead, fine. Do it any way you can. But you're doing that if you cannot do anything else, but you're still wanting to stay in the game. That's the only reason why you should be going. And that's totally fine if you're completely out of juice. If you're not completely out of juice, you should be fighting for any way you can to go. And if you don't know how to do it, you don't have to. You just have to fight to do it, and your hand will figure it out. All you have to do is go, I want to play those doubles. You're going to go like this. But the more you do that, that gets strong, this gets strong, this gets strong, and pretty soon the scaling of your muscles gets stronger to where down in the scope you can go like that. So don't worry too much about it, but at these tempos you just have to commit to trying to get those doubles to pop. I know that these look the same as buzz rolls if you're taking lessons, but my teacher gave me this and I was supposed to play those as buzzes. Yes, that's true if you're playing closed rolls and if you're learning snare drum for band. But in a rudimental style or in an open roll diddles, these are precisely 32nd notes, in this case 16th notes. And that's how we're going to play them. So the same thing, the same two different types of rolls written the same way. And the way we're doing it is an open roll. So good luck. Let's do it. I mean, I need the good luck too. My left, I don't know if I can play these. We'll see. One. A 1, 2, a 1, 2. Here we go. So far, so good. Tighten up that fulcrum if you need to. Make sure that thumb is tight. Or loose if your hand's already in shape, then you probably don't need to have that fulcrum be so tight. But yeah, if you're just starting out, you might have to squeeze in here. That's fine. You won't be doing that forever. Just this right here, if that's weak, that's how you strengthen it, is by squeezing it. All right, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Pretty weak. All right, I'm gonna commit to good sound. Remember, this is a mental game. Like, you got to decide what you're going to do. Like, I don't know, you can see me when I'm being lazy. It's a choice. So I'm going to choose to play these badass and clean. Okay, 33. A 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Yeah! You gotta be willing to fight for it. Let's do this. 1, 2. A 1, 2. Here we go. A 1, 2. A 1, 2. Here we go. I'm no longer going to take a whole bar to get in the groove. You can be in the groove right out the gates if you make the decision to. So that's what I'm going to do. 69, 2, a 1, 2. Here we go. Yeah, it's mental. It really is. Sick. Here we go. 85. 1, 2, here we go. You lose your concentration for a second, get right back to that place of extreme focus. Don't let it get you off balance. 2, 1, 2, here we go. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Two, 1, 2, 125, 2, here we go. Make a mistake, keep going. I'm not stoked about those, but I'm fighting for it. Okay, 141. 2, 1, 2, here we go. Six strokes. Here we go. Okay, 157. 1, 2. Here we go. Whew! 173. Here we go. Let's start again. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Almost lost it. Whew. 189. 1, 2, home stretch, 2, here we go. Really pull those doubles out, you know? 205. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Okay, we got a little bit of time. So I said that I was gonna get these, that I was gonna focus on getting these not by the second bar, but right at the beginning, and I've already forgotten that. So here's me reminding myself, I need to play these clean and effective and powerful and controlled and great right away. If you wait till the second bar, you've already lost. In a show, you've kind of already lost the listeners. It's like that first handshake. They're like, oh, okay, it's good. Oh yeah, they're good. They're good when they get going. No, you want to be good right away on that bar one. That's why you don't celebrate fills at the end of a phrase, because then you miss. If you're so proud of yourself for doing that cool fill, you miss beat one, and that first bar of the next thing is weak because you're so stoked that you didn't mess up your fill. It's not cool. So this is me reminding myself and us, like, bar one, we come out strong right at the top. That's what makes an impact. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Mental. God. Here comes the long roll. Okay, so if you're having a hard time getting these right off the bat, I encourage you to go back and just try starting these cold. And then stop. This is more like something you get out of taking like classical snare drum lessons is when you play something, it appears there. I mean, it is like, it's not in existence, and then it's in existence. There's no warm-up, there's no getting used to the drum. It's not there, and then it's there. So, that's even that, like, if we're going, even just that. If we're just kind of like, oh, what's the first one? Okay, now I'm in it. Like, that doesn't work. What works is, and that matters on drum set too. You watch your favorite drummers and it's like, they don't take a bar to get into it. So everything is intentional. You're not kind of going, oh, I'm going to feel out this groove and see where it takes me. It's like, no, you're creating that thing right out the gates. And the second you hit those drums, you've got someone's attention. You've set the groove for them. And if you set anything you play, the second you start doing it, you know, it's the other musicians and it's the crowd. So go back, do some of these cold. 213, for example. Can you make those sound good out the gates? It's most of the time people are just going to go, okay, it's just a bunch of, you know, right lefts. They're going to be whatever because I'm waiting to get to the roll. It's like, no, you got to make those. The whole deal is making those eighth notes the music. By the time you get to the doubles, I mean, that's, you know, you got to create the relative the relative floor for those doubles to even matter. That's what these do. And to me, if the eighth notes are played well, man, that's way more metal. You know, like the most metal thing is this. See, that one note didn't get you. So, yeah. That's kind of the lesson of these like slower tempos and doing these things is learning kind of how to mentally be in the game with these things. And these are all things that really matter when you go to play, you know, if you're playing drum set, if you're playing shows. When you sit down, it's like, don't ding around, you know, you don't want to ding around on the kit during a sound check. You want to like do the bare minimum so that when you go out and play that first note, it's like, dang man, everything that person plays is just, you know, every time they touch their instrument, I'm like, I can't wait for them to play the next thing. But if your percentage, you know, if 20% of the time you're just kind of like dinking around or, you know, kind of doing something, people are going to be like, oh yeah, doesn't matter. So yeah, that's the lesson today. Good job, everyone. So we got, let's see, 8 notes completed. 16th notes on Thursday. Things are going to get a little bit more intense. We're going to be playing twice as many notes. Do your best. My recommendation, if you're having a hard time now, is go back and do 60 beats per minute at 8th notes. And then kind of travel back up here. You know, you don't have to do all of these, but maybe go 60 and then 70. See how those feel. Kind of cherry pick some of these and see where you're at with them. And that will condition the muscle groups that do each of these. Because if you think about it, each one of the, 60 beats per minute, 65, 70, 80, 90, 100, each one of those tempos uses a slightly different group of muscles. And so you can kind of go back and check, and you're going to be conditioning different parts of your playing when you do that. So, all right, I'll see you guys Thursday.